Alright, so a couple days ago, Agrand, who is the game designer for Classic, including Season of Discovery, made a Twitter post talking about how the team is considering delaying the launch of Gnomeregan till a week after Phase 2 comes out so that people have a chance to level and get Prebus and whatever else. He also sort of included in this post that Gnomeregan is going to be a 10-player raid. I know a lot of guilds were hoping that Gnomeregan was going to be a 20 or 25-player raid, but as it turns out, he's sort of soft confirming that Gnomeregan is going to be a 10-player dungeon, or 10-player raid rather, and it was leaked in other places too, not just on his Twitter. So it's pretty clear that Gnomeregan is going to be a 10-player raid. There's some other interesting quotes from this article too. This guy, Sage47, he says, "I'm really hoping by the way you worded this that there's going to be multiple versions of this raid, which includes a 10-man and 20-man version." And Agrand says, "Nope, there's only going to be the 10-man version." So we have this guy, Michael Pierce, and he's basically saying, it depends if people are going to need Prebus to clear the raid, or if you can go in day one and kill everything with no problem, with just whatever gear you have from leveling. And he's also saying that he thinks it's not scaled hard enough if you can go in with your leveling gear and kill it day one. And Agrand is basically saying that he intends for all these level up raids, so BFD, Gnomeregan, whatever comes at level 50, probably Sunken Temple maybe, or Meridon, I don't know. He intends for all these level up raids to be very easy. He doesn't want them to be difficult. So you can go in with your raid gear from BFD, or you can go in with your leveling gear that you got going from 25 to 40 on day one, and you can clear the raid no problem. Assuming you're in a good guild, of course. He intends for organized groups to have an easy time with it, and then if you're a solo player or you're joining pugs or whatever, it's going to be a bit more challenging for you, but it shouldn't be like a world first progression, like hardcore raid. That's like the type of stuff they have in retail, and if you want that experience, go play retail. It's basically his philosophy, I'm sort of assuming. And then we have this guy Caruso, who's talking about an argument he had with a guildie over the language used when referring to the BFD and Gnomeregan raids. They're calling them leveling raids, and he's not really sure what they mean by that. And Agrand is basically saying that they're calling them level up raids for a reason. I'm sort of interpreting this as they're going to get rid of the lockout and just let you run or spam BFD for XP. But I guess it could also mean like it still has a 3-day lockout, but you get a ton of XP every 3 days from it or something like that. And then I'm also kind of hoping that BFD's lockout is removed so that we can just spam it and it hopefully gives like a lot of XP. But since it's a 10-player environment, I'm not sure how that's going to work, because if you've ever done UBRS on Classic, you'll know that the XP in there, even though it's technically considered a dungeon, is very bad because you're in a 10-player group, and once you cross the threshold over the 5-player party into a 6+ person raid, your XP goes down significantly. So I'm not exactly sure how the XP is going to work. Maybe they just crank the XP up on the mobs so that it's still a ton of XP per hour, even after you've been in a raid group and the diminishing returns have been applied. Not sure what they're going to do with that, but I am hoping that BFD is the leveling option that Agrand was talking about. They do know that people have completed, some people at least, have completed all the quests available at level 25, so they're going to have a hard time leveling. So they are intending to put a additional way to get XP from 25 onwards into the Phase 2 of SOD. That's basically it. It was just a quick Q&A session on Twitter where he talked about a few things. Basically, the takeaways is that Gnomeregan is the next raid. It's going to be a 10-player raid. There's not going to be a 20 version or a 25-man version or a 40-man version, anything like that. It's just going to be a 10-man. It's also going to be really easy, hopefully, so that if you go in with your guild on day one, you can potentially clear the whole thing. And there's going to be some form of level up reward from doing BFDs after level 25, whether that be XP or gear or something. There is going to be some reason to do BFD after the level 25 cap is removed. Leave a like if you got anything out of this video, and thanks for watching.